I was 11 years old when my mom, my sister, and I all sat down at the kitchen table for a family meeting with my dad. The kitchen table in an Italian family is the epicenter of activity for the entire household. It's not just where we eat, it's where thousands of card games and board games are played. And when grandma, grandpa, all the aunts and uncles and cousins come over, it's where we gather. The kitchen table is the heart and soul of the Italian home. But this gathering, this family meeting, wasn't one of those meetings where we were going to plan a family vacation or talk about where we were going to go for dinner that night. No, this was a very different kind of family meeting. This day, this family meeting was the day when the baby of the family, yours truly, was going to try and convince his father to come back home. I remember telling him, "Dad, it doesn't matter what you've done. We forgive you. And it doesn't matter what you haven't done. We still love you. And no matter what you think, we want you to come home to us." He looked at me and he understood what it was I was saying, and he even agreed. He looked at my mom and he said, "When did he get to be so smart?" And she just simply replied, "See what you've been missing?" But then he got up, looked at us, and walked out the door and out of our family and never came back. That day was my moment when, for me, family became an obsession. From that point on, there was a hole in my soul that could only be filled by having a family of my own someday. Today, many years later, that hole has been filled to overflowing. I have a beautiful, devoted wife, and we have 7 unbelievably wonderful, beautiful children. And I am blessed beyond belief. But it didn't take long before I realized that what I have, the joy and bliss I have with my family, wasn't as common as I thought it should be. You see, when my dad walked out that door those decades ago, there were a number of things that led to his exit. But the most prominent issue I could remember was the financial pressure he and my mom were under. Sure, there were other things that weren't right, but those other things, they were amplified by the stress and pressure he was under financially. Eventually, those other things, being fed by a barrage of financial stress, grew to the point where they seemed insurmountable to him. And nothing we could have said, nothing I could have said that day would have been enough to help him see that he wasn't a failure. There was just no way he could see the truth through the fog of money problems, the truth that we desperately loved him and we desperately needed him. Now, fortunately, decades later, he and I reconciled, and we had as good a relationship as we could have had before he passed. But I knew he always felt guilty. Now, think about the impact financial stress has on you and your family. The pressure of making ends meet can be overwhelming. What kind of financial pressure are you under right now? Whatever that stress or pressure is that eats away at you, does that improve or deteriorate your family life? How much would your family life be improved if, for instance, you knew you had your personal finances totally under control and were on your way to being free from the stress of having to make house payments or car payments? And if you knew you wouldn't have any credit card or student loan payments haunting you every month? When you're on the payment treadmill and your mind is consumed with what it takes to cover your nut, does that make the relationships in your family stronger, or does it jeopardize them? Does the strain of money worries make you behave better or worse towards those you love the most? Now, the one thing I realized long ago was that financial stress and pressure amplifies every other problem families face. I mean, I have 7 kids, and family life in and of itself can be stressful enough. Sure, there are some issues money can't resolve. That's obvious. However, when you compound those issues with financial stress, it's like rubbing salt in the wound. But the reason you're experiencing financial stress and pressure is because you've been kind of sold a pack of lies regarding how money works. Lies that are costing you a fortune and creating stress in your family. Now, relieving stress and financial worry is why my business partner John Commuta and I started Smartest Wealth Systems. John is also my father-in-law, and for us, family is tremendously important. Now, I'm not just talking about our family. I'm also talking about you and your family. We know how hard you work. We understand the mountains you climb week after week, month after month, and year after year. As a dad myself, I know how important it is for a man to walk into his house, his castle, and know he's taking good care of those he adores. I've seen my wife work tirelessly for our kids. I know how important it is for a mom to have the freedom to love her family in a way that truly fulfills her. And together, we get to enjoy watching our kids grow, and we are so grateful to be able to share heartwarming moments, more of them than we can shake a stick at. But it breaks my heart when I see families struggle because of money. Money can cause husbands and wives to fight over things, that while they may seem urgent at the time, are so unimportant when held up against the mirror of life, the mirror of your family. It's because of you that we are here. We're here to help you understand how to take command of the cash flowing through your life so you can focus on more important things, so you can begin to savor the moments that, until now, may have been swept away because of financial pressure. What's past is past, but what's to come, those moments you've yet to experience, those are the moments we're focused on, and you should be focused on them too. Consider this from a letter we received from one of the families we have had the honor of helping. Tim from Portland wrote us saying, "Your system helped my wife and I focus on working together on our finances. After 22 years of marriage, no more arguing over money and on the same page towards our financial goals for the first time in many years." Let us help your family get on the same page financially like we helped him and his family. Let us help you protect those precious, heartwarming moments that await you and your loved ones from being hijacked because of something as simple as math. That's really all money is, it's math. And we want to help you understand the math so you can build the future you and those you love most truly deserve. That's why we created a 3-part training called People Are Lying to You and It's Costing You a Fortune. You know your family is working hard, and it can be frustrating when all that hard work doesn't seem to produce what you thought it would. And people are lying to you and it's costing you a fortune. You'll discover the source of that frustration so you can begin to alleviate it once and for all. The training is free, and we want you to have it because we want to help get your family on the path towards the financial future you deserve. So please accept our 3-part training as our gift to you by clicking below. It would be a privilege to help you and your family get on the same page financially so you can work together to secure your financial future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.